Welcome back to Commercial Breaks with Miss Education. I'm Miss Education. Yay! Okay. Episode 58, Nefarious. So I ended up watching a movie entitled Nefarious. And not a spoil alert, but I am going to, I want to talk about this movie. And I don't know whether you go see it or not. And I say go, I mean it's on Amazon. You can get it on YouTube for $4.99. But this movie, I ended up watching it twice in one day because I couldn't believe what I just watched. Okay, so first let me tell you. I watched it, the first time I watched it as a believer. And that's why it just blew my mind. I was like, what? And then the second time I watched it as a non-believer. And they're two different movies. They are two different movies when you watch it as a believer and a non-believer. And this is what triggered this conversation and what I may be talking about for the next 2 or 3 sessions. Because I'm sad. And I feel there's an urgency. And you know what? It's just, okay, wait, let's start. Let me just tell you about the movie, okay? And spoiler alert, no, it's really a basic movie in the sense of it's two people having a conversation. I don't know if you heard about it. It's a man who's on death row who claims that he is possessed, and then a psychiatrist who needs to determine whether he's sane or insane. If he is found insane, then he doesn't get executed. If he is found sane, then the execution proceeds that day. That's the entire movie is between basically the prisoner and the doctor in the prison in a conference room having a conversation. And the only scene in the movie that's like a little jarring, and I'm just going to tell you because again it's about a man going to death row, is when he actually goes and he's executed, and they show the execution via the electric chair. That's literally the whole movie. That's it. What is jarring on the movie is the words, the exchange between the two men. That is what's jarring in the movie. So it's not a spoiler alert. I mean, you watch it, depends on when you watch it, it depends on whose point of view. Are you looking at this? Are you watching this movie through the lenses of a believer? Or are you watching this through a non-believer's point of view? So let me explain what happens. As a believer, the movie's written as such that the prisoner, right, the perpetrator claims to be possessed by a demon, and that he committed these acts while under the spell of a demon. And so when the two men are speaking, the doctor and the criminal, there are times when it's the criminal speaking, and there are times when it's the demon. In the majority of the movie, it is the demon speaking, and you can see the clear distinction between the two men. But it's what the demon says is literally, I was like this, watching the movie, just like I couldn't believe it, because here's the example. It's like I'm going to, so let's say this Saturday, the Mega Millions is $1 billion. It's me going on television and telling everyone what the numbers are. Here are the winning numbers for Saturday. And I'm literally just telling you the winning numbers for Saturday. And there are two groups of people. There are those who are like, oh, those are the winning numbers. Let me write this down. Let me get a piece of that. And there are others who are like, whatever. So when I watched this the first time, I'm like, oh my goodness, did they just give the winning lottery numbers? Like, I'm literally like, is anyone saying this? Like, what is going on? How? They're telling you the truth. This demon laid out exactly what this whole good versus evil war is. laid out the mission. Even in the movie, he goes, I am legend. Like, he goes back into history. Like, before earth was created, I was, meaning I, the angels, we were. And all of this is between God and us. This has nothing to do with you, humankind, as far as we're concerned. This is a demon talking about, as far as we're concerned, this has nothing to do with you humans. You are just a means to the end to get to God. We want to hurt God, and we know that God loves you so much. How do you hurt a parent? You go for their kid. And this demon just outright is spilling the beans in this movie, and I'm just like, oh. Like, I'm shocked. I'm like, everyone now knows. Everyone knows. And so I had to watch it again, this time with my husband. I'm like, you have to watch this movie. Because, like, everyone knows. They just put it all out there. Like, who puts this? Like, they just told everyone. And, of course, my husband is a rational being. And he's like, Jen, no. People aren't watching it the same way you're watching it. To many, this is entertainment. And not only is it entertainment, it's sci-fi entertainment, because this angel, this demon, is talking about supernatural things that when we watch, like, when you watch, when we talk about Hercules and Poseidon and Zeus, everyone's like, oh yeah, this is Greek mythology. It's not real. No, it's real. Because the sons of man came and messed with the daughters of God, and they Nephilims, like, they were giants. They were demigods. These are real things. And I know to some people, like, Jen, you sound crazy. You know what? I'm done. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, because as my eyes are being opened, I'm seeing things, and I'm like, oh, okay. So my husband sent this to me. Because again, this has been on my mind, like, and he says, and even if, so this is Second Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3-6, right? And even if our gospel is veiled, it is veiled to those who are perishing. So even if the gospel is the good message, the truth. And even if our gospel is veiled, it is veiled to those who are perishing. The God of the age has blinded, and the God, lowercase g, of the age has blinded the minds of the unbelievers, so that they cannot see the light of the gospel that displays the glory of Christ, who is the image of God. For what we preach is not ourselves, but Jesus Christ our Lord, and ourselves as your servant for Jesus' sake. For God, who said, "Let light shine out of darkness," made his light shine in our hearts to give us the light of the knowledge of God's glory displayed in the face of Jesus Christ. Why this? Oh, and it continues. I'll tell you. So 2 Corinthians 3:14, but their minds were made dull. For to this day, the same veil remains when the old covenant is read. Their minds have been made dull. Like, people are blind. And there's this fire in me. I'm like, God, how? Like, there is something going on. They're telling us. It's no longer hidden. And no, you know what? Maybe it was never hidden, but I was blind. It was never hidden. It was I who was blind, who never saw. But now that I'm waking up, I cannot believe how much information is out there. There's a clip, if you look it up, George Soros, when he talks about how he is God, George Soros is one of the most powerful men in the planet. With the money he has and the influence he has, he's behind most of everything. And there's a clip where he just outright says that he is God, and he's had these thoughts, these, in essence, these demonic thoughts that he's had to check. But now he's in a position where he can play out these thoughts. Nefarious, yo, this movie, there's just so much in this movie. I'm speechless because the messaging, and in the movie, this man, the non-believer, so it's the demon, and the doctor's a non-believer, right? A science-based psychiatrist. And he's like, I'm a non-believer. And he makes a deal with the devil. He does. And at the end, even when he's witnessed with his own eyes, and he's felt in his body, and he's witnessed God's hand, he still doesn't change. There's a change, but there's no belief, there's no conviction, there's still doubt. And I'm like, I was telling my husband, I was like, this is what the world is. There's so many, even when face to face with both the demon, the devil, and God, the majority will not choose God. I don't know, like Matthew 7:13 says, enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. I know I say God's words do not return void, and God doesn't lie. And he's telling us that there is a narrow gate that we need to enter, but that many will enter the gate that's wide and broad and that leads to destruction, even when presented with truth, even when face to face, there are those who still reject God. And I think what saddens my heart the most, and what I'm working on, I literally was talking to God today about this. I need to step out and have these certain conversations with really close friends of mine, because I don't think they see it. You know, I know I talk about this one student that I absolutely love. Like, she's like my daughter. Those of you who know me know who she is. And we drive into work together, and I'm talking to her, and I told her, I said, I love you so much that it hurts my heart to think that I might spend eternity and you won't be there. It's like the thought of my own children, the ones I birth, not being in heaven with me. So I tell her this, and I said, no, I won't stop. I cannot, as a mom, as someone who loves you, I cannot have these opportunities, these moments with you, and not share God's love with you. Because when that great getting up morning comes, when the skies are rolled back like a scroll, when we ascend, my little girl has to be there with me. I already know, all right, I'll be there. But I need, and I have, and so that's my thing. I will not stop talking to her about God, and I'm not overbearing. At least she says I'm not overbearing. I don't think I'm overbearing, but if I am, so be it. But these aren't my words. These are God's words when I'm speaking to her. And I have other friends, and I don't know. Do you have friends, right? Do you have loved ones? Like, we can't save everyone. God came down to save those who wanted to be saved, and not everyone wants to be saved, which is disheartening. because people don't take this seriously. There is a spiritual war going on. I will continue. Let me do part 2 of this. Because again, 15 minutes, right? I hate to go over. Commercial breaks with Miseducation. God is dope.